Friends, how are you? I hope you are all fine. You should concentrate on our lessons. Already first lesson completed. Coming to second lesson, eighth class. Eighth class, second lesson, energy from the sun. What is our lesson name? Energy from the sun. Look at this picture. It is sun. It is insolation to the earth. That is the solar radiation. While it is insolation on the earth, it is terrestrial and radiation. After then, earth is become as a heat. Coming to this, the sun, it is giving solar radiation means energy constantly emitted by the sun. A star, an astronomy called object is and consisting of luminous sphere of plasma held together it's by own gravity. The nearest star to the earth is the sun, the head of the solar family. Sun is the head of the solar family. Sun proving the solar energy, providing solar the energy. Solar energy, radiant energy emitted by the sun, solar power. So greenhouses. What is the greenhouse here? Methane and a chemical compound with chemical formula CH4. It is group 14 hydro and simplest all know in the its main constitute of the natural gas. Carbon dioxide. It is also mixed with carbon dioxide. Chemical compound composed on the one carbon and two oxygen atoms, it is called CO2. Ozone layer. Chemical compound Trixin is inorganic model clue with the chemical formula O3. It is a pale blue gas with a distinctive planet and smell. And moderate climate. Moderate climate means maritime climate. It is the climate which is the near very hot and very cold. Sometimes it is very hot, sometimes it is very cold. It is mainly found in coastal area, and the average weather condition on a larger area for the longer time. And the extreme climate means continental climate. Extreme weather, extreme events in clouds, impacted unusual service on the sun seasons, seasonal weather, and fire, volcanoes, floods, tsunamis, it will come. Insolation, solar radiation received on the surface of the earth, that is called insolation. Atmosphere, the gases involved surrounding the earth or any other celestial today. Global warming. What is the global warming? Increasing temperature of the earth surface, including land, water, and near the surface of the air. So energy from the sun. The earth on which we live is full of diversity. Full of diversity means oceans, continents, mountains, plateaus, and plains on the continents and regions, and heights and scanty rainfall. Another important form of diversity which we cannot see but only we can feel. This is diversity temperature from the sun, cool in the morning time, and it gets warmer during the daytime, and it gets cooler again in the night time. It is very hot in some months of the years, less hot and the other months. Temperature also varies from place to place on the earth regions. Some regions are warmer while some regions are cooled or as they are covered by ice throughout the year. Equatorial region, wherever it is warm throughout the year, and later on you will read about the polar region with very cold area. Temperature difference between place and also causes winds and rains. The amount of rain received at the place is to some extent determined by the temperature different between place to place. Temperature and rainfall affect lives in very critical ways. Plants and animals depend upon heat and water. Only certain kinds of trees and plants will grow in hot regions and some other kinds will grow in cold regions. Nothing grow in very cold regions. Thus we have variation in vegetation and animals' life. We will study about variation in temperature in different parts of the world. Solar energy and sun rays. Solar energy and sun rays. The sun is the principal source of energy on the earth's surface. It is like a powerhouse which generates and gives out energy in the form of light and heat. This energy constantly emitted by the sun is known as solar radiation. Greenhouse. Interestingly, human societies have tried to grow crops everywhere by creating artificial environment for plants. Thus we grow vegetables and fruits in very cold region by building greenhouses. These buildings with transparent roofs and walls which allow heat to come into the but it is not escape. We created marshes environment for crops like paddy by irrigating the fields. Artificial environment for plants, the energy produced by the sun comes to us in the form of sun rays. We can see and feel like light and heat. X-rays and radio waves and UV rays. The solar radiation received on the surface of the earth called insolation. The third form of the solar energy is reflected back. Some portion of the energy is scattered and absorbed in the higher reaches of the atmosphere. Some of the harmful rays of sun like the UV rays don't reach the ground and is made life possible on the earth. Some amount of solar rays are also absorbed and reflected away by clouds and smoke or dust in the atmosphere. Sun's rays and earth surface. The rays that reach the grounds do not heat the earth surface uniformly. This is because of the curved nature of the earth surface. The sun rays fall at about 90 degrees on the earth equator. They fall slantingly towards the poles. This is called angle of incidence or the angle of which rays fall on the earth's surface, which even through more intense sun rays fall or equatorial region. It is usually cloudy. There are midway and less sun rays fall on the ground. Thus, the angle of incidence increases in the north during the month of November and December and decreasing in the month of May and June. Land and water contrast. The temperature distributed over the land and oceans is much different and varying. Land is considered as a good conductor of heat, whether water bodies on the different. While land gets heated and cooled quickly, oceans will take time to heat and cool. Heat of the atmosphere. The sun rays first heat the earth's surface. This is in turn begins to radiate heat which heats up the air around us. It is warmer near the surface of the earth compared to higher reaches of the atmosphere. Heat balance. The heat the earth receives from the sun and radiation back by the earth is different ways. We saw about 1/3 of it is immediately reflected back into the space. This complete radiation of the heat the received from the sun is important. The entire heat is not radiated back. Then every day the amount of heat that remains will accumulate and it will become hotter and hotter, cooler and cooler. Flat land or slope land, which land receives solar energy same. Some gases like carbon dioxide prevent radiation of the heat from the earth. Carbon dioxide in the atmosphere increasing due to use of diesel and petrol, cutting down of forest, etc. In the carbon dioxide proportion in the atmosphere increasing, then less heat will be radiated, causing in the increasing in global temperature. Thus result in what we call global warming. World means an annual temperatures map. In this second lesson, energy from the sun, we completed first part. You should learn about the sun, what are the absorb the heat and carbon dioxide, methane, ozone layer, and sun absorb the isolation, and the sun gives the earth heat to the earth and give light to the earth. Then only day and night cause. This is the second lesson.